Pura vida. So I've heard Goatis has something to say about Aajonus. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, what's up? A subscriber of mine gave me the idea to review this video of where Aajonus wonder planets appeared on the Doctor Show. I had used the clip from the...
Everyone out there's a message in the popular media that we're full of all these toxins and our bodies don't have any idea how to get rid of them. So you got to detox yourself with these crazy diets to live a normal life, which is absurd.
Show me the toxins. I mean,
well, I think when people are,
I love how he says, "Show me the toxins," but I will give that to him, and each time he will talk about salmonella or botulism or anything, I will say, "Show me the salmonella." It's the same concept. It's so small I cannot see it. Show me the salmonella. Okay, there are no toxins, but there is no salmonella either because I cannot see it. Expect there are like thousands of studies about, let's say, BPA or endocrine disruptors, but read for whatever the fuck. There are way more studies correlating these with illnesses than salmonella and such. So you can see neither, but all the hippie woo-woo out there version of health, like, oh, you need to detox and avoid toxins and whatever. This hippie way of like looking at health is more supported by science than the germ theory, because show me the studies about salmonella from raw milk poisoning people. There are literally like studies showing that salmonella doesn't even grow in raw milk. And now show me the studies about raw meat. Show me the salmonella.
What does he mean by that? You can even taste them. Try eating modern fruits and vegetables. They are sprayed with
That's
pesticides
true.
and
If you want to eat vegetables or pesticides, then there are good studies showing that you can literally wash off a fuck ton of pesticides from fruits by washing them in a solution of... What Aajonus used to do is get water or whey and apple cider vinegar and wash fruits with it. He didn't even wash them. He submerged them and bathed them in the solution of apple cider vinegar and whatever. And you could see that the water will be getting like dirtier and like gray and whatever because the bullshit will be just leaving the fruit. But that's not as effective as the studies show as using baking soda. If you use like it's probably less, but better safe than sorry. If you use like 1 tablespoon of baking soda per like 1 liter of water, and you submerge fruit in that for like a minute, it will get down a fuck ton of pesticides this way. That's what you can do to your fruit or vegetables. And don't mix it with apple cider vinegar afterwards, because baking soda is alkaline and apple cider vinegar is acidic, and it will cancel each other out. You can probably use baking soda and then apple cider vinegar, but that's not necessary. Just anything you want to eat which is sprayed with pesticides, wash it in solution of baking soda and water.
That's just one example.
people who drink and smoke, they're trying to figure out ways to get that out of their body, but the only way is to stop.
that is true.
I think the natural organs will detoxify anyway.
Certain medications, and we know that food is treated, it can be treated with insecticides, things like that, but it's up to us to first make sure things are clean, wash them, and then you're less likely.
The problem with that is that a lot of the pesticides and herbicides are oil soluble, meaning that the toxins will sort of stick to the fruits and vegetables.
Baking soda.
Something that potentially could be a toxin. But this is the whole concept that your colon gets caked with all this crud, bad stuff. That's not happening.
Well, we've got livers for a reason.
It's not wait. Oh, fuck. Our livers and spleens detoxify everything. Yeah, sorry. I will just go and take methamphetamine and drink alcohol because my liver and spleen will just detoxify everything. Yeah. And no, nothing can get stuck in your colon. That's why, yeah, you cannot find mercury and whatever in your stools ever. Nothing ever stores in your stool ever. You are safe.
Another really interesting trend, number 9 on our list. Everyone's heard about a raw food diet. Well, have you ever heard of the raw meat diet?
Yes, indeed. I've been on the raw meat diet for 5 years straight and never have been sick. Oh, I have been sick, but I have been sick before. I'm talking about getting a parasite or something which will be inherent from my diet.
Well, here to tell us about the raw meat diet is author of We Want to Live, The Primal Diet, and Recipe for Living Without Disease, Aajonus Planets. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Tell you what, when I read about...
This was filmed in 2009. That's what it says online, which would mean that this was around 4 years before he passed away.
Your diet that you eat.
Hot take. I'm not saying it's that way, but there is a possibility that Aajonus didn't pass away and faked his death. I will make a YouTube video about it.
I was shocked because raw meat, in general, we always say don't eat it because it's filled with bacteria that can cause serious illness, even death, salmonella among
Show me the salmonella.
And for this, they don't need any proof.
Show me.
They don't need to see it. This they simply religiously believe. But when it comes to bitter toxins that you can taste, then they just almost ignore it.
Bitter toxins that you can taste. I fucking hate the Goatis because he's acting like eating spinach or I don't know some vegetable which tastes unpleasant is worse for you than consuming like seed oil garbage from a factory which tastes great actually. Like most of stuff which is bad for you, like really bad for you, actually tastes really great. Unless it's something outright poisonous which would kill you and make you throw up. No plant in nature which is bitter and you don't want to eat is worse for you than eating a donut full of sugar and seed oils and pesticides and gluten and all this shit. Like you can have a gluten which your intuition will tell you to eat because you absolutely love the taste and it will be in your nature and in your instincts to eat it because it's so awesome. That's a million times worse for you than literally eating spinach which you don't even want to eat. Eating garlic is better for you. I understand, like, if we lived in nature and there was no access to drugs and fake lab-made foods which were designed to make you crave them and be addicted to them, then indeed, something tasting bad is a good indicator of it being bad for you. But in today's society, fucking plants tasting bad are the last problem ever. Last problem. If you go to the store and you look at the candy section or take up anything drowned in seed oils, which is basically everything which has more than one ingredient, that's fucking worse. Like, the plant hate is like, I agree with him. It's wrong to eat vegetables and whatever, but it's just, he's talking about them in every single fucking, I understand it. He's used to like looking at vegans who have that be 90% of their diet. But most of modern people don't fucking eat plants and spinach. Most of modern people eat bullshit donuts and pies and shit like that.
So I want you to come up here and listen.
Show me a scientific experiment that proves that bacteria can cause disease, please. It's 2026 and we still have no proof for this.
It's true. This was being researched since the Spanish flu. You should look up the experiments about Spanish flu where they tried to make the infected people infect non-infected people and failed in like hundreds of cases or more. I'm not going to say more.
Talk a little bit about what you eat and why. Come on up. First off, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, no, I would never eat that. I would never eat that. I'd eat that.
Who put those green leaves next to the meat? Was it the
Oh,
people
bro.
who work behind
Green
the scenes?
leaves. Horrible.
It must
Horrible.
be.
Green leaves. No way.
And I would eat those if they were cooked. So why do you say this is healthy for us?
Well, I was dying of multiple myeloma and lymphoma and stomach cancer 40 years ago. They said I would never be able to eat any raw food again, that if I ate even a banana or an apple, that I'd have to steam it. The cancer.
Outright, they've edited it to be completely retarded. They completely skipped the point. Aajonus had an operation because of which he was not able to secrete hydrochloric acid. Therefore, he was told if he ate raw apple, raw banana, raw whatever, the bacteria will proliferate in him because he has no acid to kill them, and it will kill him. He had no stomach acid. And after having no stomach acid and being supposed to die, according to the medical profession, from eating even a raw apple, he's been eating raw meat, raw fermented milk, rotten meat, raw meat filled with parasitic worms, which his hydrochloric acid even didn't destroy because he had none. He was eating that. No parasite, no anything. With no hydrochloric acid whatsoever. You know, the usual argument I tell people about raw meat is you have hydrochloric acid, which can be alkaline if you eat like a fucking cow, but it can also be as acidic as of a lion or a vulture. Your hydrochloric acid can literally dissolve it can dissolve bone. It can literally dissolve fucking nails. Not like these nails, like nails which you like use with a fucking hammer. Your hydrochloric acid can destroy those. But it doesn't destroy fiber. So how the fuck are you going to get a parasite if you have a fucking rusty fucking steel nail dissolving hydrochloric acid inside of you? How are you going to develop a parasite if you are going to dissolve him? And by the way, there have been studies with like Joel Weinstock, who has been infecting people with digestive issues, who were medicated for 10 years plus, who were not able to get rid of their disease. And he infected them with parasites on purpose by giving them something which destroyed their hydrochloric acid, so they could develop a parasite. And some of them became asymptomatic. Most of them had their gastrointestinal issues improved by getting infected by trichinellosis. They improved by getting a parasite. But so whatever, parasites are beneficial, which is proved by science. Let's say they are not. You have fucking steel nail dissolving acid in your stomach to dissolve these parasites. That's the argument I give to people. Aajonus had no hydrochloric acid. He ate fish from a dumpster because he was fasting and he was starving, and he wanted to break his fast on a Sunday and was not able to find any storages open. So he ate a fucking fish, ovulating with fucking pinworms, and he had no hydrochloric acid at all. Had his stools and blood and everything checked, no parasites developed afterwards. For years. Show me the parasites. Show me the salmonella. It's laughable. It's 2026. Can we please stop being afraid of parasites? Like, I think the times have changed. Like, if someone tells me like, oh, I don't know, raw meat, you're going to get parasites, I feel the same way as someone would feel like, imagine how there was like racism and racial segregation like 50 years ago. Like, imagine you expecting for it to be still that way. I'm not going to go into if racism is bad or wrong, but just like people who believe in parasites and raw meat or no parasites, I see them like if they are living in the past, like complete ignorance. They are the equivalent of like old people in the 50s where people were like, you know what I mean? They live like 50 years ago to me. Like they live under a fucking rock.
Resurfaced again when I was about 30 years old, and I decided that I was just not going to live through it again because it was very painful. So I ate raw meat to kill myself, and it did just the opposite. It invigorated me for the first time in my life.
So you're eating literally raw meat. This is raw chicken,
Correct.
and you're just eating that.
Correct.
And where do you get
Did you get it right off the bone like that?
Well, I can eat it right off the bone. Would you like to see?
And this seems shocking to people. In Japan, they serve raw chicken in
That's true.
restaurants.
Have you prepared it specially? Is it a particular kind of meat?
No, well, my preparation is to leave it out to give room temperature. This is a little cold. There's no taste. It's like, paper.
I'm surprised Goatis, someone who eats raw meat for 10 years, did not comment this, but I just said it. Like, if it's cold out of the fridge, raw meat tastes like nothing. It can still taste good. If you're lazy, go ahead. But if you leave your raw meat out in the room temperature, especially in the summer, for a few hours, it tastes like 4 times better. That's realistic. 4 to 5 times better. And no, that's not a fucking excuse to throw your meat on the fucking pan because you're too lazy to wait for a few hours to let it warm up. Throwing it on a pan, that doesn't work. There's a certain someone behind the camera who does exactly that, and I'm talking to him. That's a bullshit excuse. It's better to eat cold raw meat than to throw it on a pan, but yeah, room temperature raw meat tastes better than out of the fridge.
From the regular grocery store?
No, this is Rocky Junior chicken, which is grown on non-GMO corn.
Do you eat fruits and vegetables, or do you just pretty much eat raw
I
meat?
eat 1 fruit a day and vegetable juice, not whole vegetables.
So, as doctors, we have to challenge you a little bit here, because
I'm getting hungry.
go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is really good. I'm sorry.
Now,
Everyone should learn. Shut the fuck up. Everyone should learn to drink raw eggs straight out of the shell. It's worth it.
the world for you and what you're doing. I do not recommend this to anyone at home or anyone in the audience. A raw meat diet, I'm going to tell you right now, runs the risk of so many bad things, whether it's salmonella,
Show me the salmonella.
amongst others. And, again.
And again, please prove that. That's the whole problem with the people nowadays. They see raw meat, it's simply meat in its natural state. We shouldn't even be saying raw meat. We should simply say meat. There's meat and then there's cooked meat. But because raw meat is a...
I agree. If you see a fucking cow out there, it's not made out of raw meat. It's made out of meat. It's kind of autistic, the point is trying to make, but he's completely right. I agree. I'm not even eating raw meat, honestly. I'm just eating meat.
For pregnant women, obviously toxoplasmosis we're very concerned about for raw meat, and that can cause birth effects.
Especially
The women
kids.
who've been pregnant on this diet, when they give birth, only have 2 contractions and the baby's out.
Weston A. Price, who have looked at primitive tribes which were on diets which were actually not fully raw, did observe something similar. So, I've never met a raw meat eater woman who had 2 contractions and then baby was out, but it sounds completely possible because people in the tribes Weston A. Price documented were like that.
Right, and the women in nature say that they don't even feel any pain when they give birth. They actually enjoy it.
Pretty
and
much.
Many women say that they feel orgasms when they give birth, which makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense, because why would nature punish you for giving birth? That would mean that reproducing and creating children is bad. It doesn't make any sense naturally. It makes sense that you feel an orgasm when you give birth, because that would be nature telling you that you're doing something right, which you are. But if you have a narrow body, you eat garbage, and you then try to give birth, it will feel painful. And there's even cases of women dying because of how narrow their bodies are. But that happens because you go against nature. If you go with nature, so to speak, then expect maybe not necessarily always orgasms nowadays because of the way people grow up. But if you now start eating naturally, and if you give birth at a natural age, also super important, actually very, very important, then you shouldn't expect much pain or discomfort.
But what's going on with the baby?
I'm going to challenge you on something.
Okay, I've heard of women having 2 contractions and baby is out, but women being orgasmic, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it sounds like complete, total fucking horse shit. It's not impossible, but I absolutely fucking doubt it. But he's such a fucking, like, the way he talks, like, he could say, that's the problem. The most popular guy in the primal space is this guy, and he talks like this, like, if you eat garbage and your body is narrow, then you don't have orgasm when you have a fucking birth. That's so fucking. I understand what he was trying to say, but if like imagine a fucking imagine like a 16-year-old who has been watching content about Weston A. Price and Black Pill and the Goatis for fucking years, watching this. I understand it. I understand it. But imagine like father of random Goatis fan, like some random 30-year-old working man listening to the sentence which he just uttered. I think he will absolutely not fucking understand what he's trying to say. Like, he's taking it for granted that everyone is his fan and just understands. Like, unless you're his fan, then you just don't understand the language he's speaking. Like, he could have said, like, if women are on natural diets, and that has been proven by Weston A. Price, then their bodies develop better and their hips develop to be wider. Or if they are pregnant sooner than after their bones finished forming, and because they have more broader bodies and hips, their births are less painful, or something like that. He could say that instead of women are too narrow and they don't have orgasm when they birth. You understand the point. He could just said it like normally, and then it was like, if women didn't eat garbage and weren't narrow and they ate naturally, then they would have better births. But this way they go against nature and they suffer. He could say, if they had better diets, if they ate a raw animal-based diet, then they will develop better bodies biologically, like their skeletons will develop better, and their births will be better. He could say it normally, but instead he says it like some fucking cult leader who you don't understand if you don't watch his content regularly. That's the fucking problem with Goatis. Like, most people just watch him to laugh at him. He could just, if his vocabulary was just a tiny bit fucking better, and like, if he just pretended to be a bit more professional, like, holy hell.
My question is,
Right, and you could simply do a scientific experiment and actually prove that, but we have no proof for that. That's the
I agree, actually. Like, a lot of people are like, fuck science. Science makes no sense, and whatever. The science is paid by the big noses to like obscure the truth and tell us lies and sell us like nonsense. But I've been looking into scientific studies, and actually scientific studies prove everything, or nearly everything, which Aajonus and alternative health people say. For example, literal scientific studies, tens of them, peer-reviewed scientific studies, show that cholesterol does not cause heart disease, and that statins, which you take to improve your heart disease, make your heart disease worse. I'm not kidding. There is a study showing that taking statins makes your fucking, how do you call it, calcification of the arteries worse than not taking statins. So statins do the opposite of what they are supposed to do. Every single doctor out there will tell you to buy and take statins, even though there are peer-reviewed scientific studies showing that statins do the opposite of what they are supposed to do. Scientific studies tell you that there is absolutely no correlation between 99% of skin seawarts and sunlight. There's like one which is like completely obscure and is not deadly, but most of skin seawarts are inversely correlated with sunlight exposure. Like literally, skin seawarts are correlated with low vitamin D levels. Like blue light is bad, microplastics are bad, everything which alternative health people is talk about, it's backed up by scientific studies. And there are no fucking scientific studies about raw meat whatsoever. Like, there are studies about raw milk, which are pro raw milk, but no studies about raw meat whatsoever. And I would love to see scientific studies about raw milk. Like, honestly, I know Robert Kennedy is probably controlled opposition who kissed the wall in Israel and whatever, but with his government, I think it could be maybe one time possible, like with the current administration, that maybe there could be a fucking scientific study about raw meat. Like, what's stopping them?
Juice and milk, and that would,
that
that's
is
dangerous.
a myth. When I did my laboratory work,
Pasteurization was a breakthrough, a health breakthrough.
That it's not a myth.
How do you
Show me the E. coli, please. I cannot show the toxins, but you can show me the E. coli. I bet.
She says the pasteurization was a health breakthrough, I believe she said, which is actually crazy because everything only got worse after people started pasteurizing milk, juices, and
I will tell you something crazy. Pasteurization was an eugenic breakthrough. It's that sinister. It's possible their original motives were money, but or whatever. But maybe it's not even. Maybe I was just that was very dark of me. Sorry. Maybe it was about money, but even if it was just about money, with the effect which pasteurization and its consequences for society, pasteurization and its consequences has been a disaster for human race. With the consequences of pasteurization for society and the diseases and the deformations and the people who the natural selection which came with widespread use of pasteurization in our society, even if it was driven entirely for money or profit or whatever. And eugenics was not what they had in mind when they got pasteurization when they applied the pasteurization to the society to the extent which they applied it to. Even if it was not because of eugenics, the effects we see because of it, they might as well have been eugenic. We might as well presume it was eugenics, because unless you are the fittest and the wisest, you are just going to drink whatever you are going to pick up in the supermarket. And this way, the genes of the ones who are not the brightest and the ones who are not the brightest and their genes, because of what they can pick up in the supermarket with no effort at all, their genes will just fade away and become worse over time. While some select people, well, a lot of them actually, they are going to, the difference between the normal people in society and the brighter ones is going to be apparent and more apparent with every single generation. It's more apparent, the pasteurization and what is done to society. It's very apparent with each subsequent generation. Like each generation you can see it. You can see the deformation. You can see the mental and psychological and physical degeneration of people everywhere. if you take someone and you kidnap them and put them on a farm when they can eat nothing but meat and raw milk and whatever, and just not the same things which people in society are eating. After one generation, that you will just see that person is not from modern society. It's like something else. Pasteurization is eugenics.
everything else. Back in the day, you would press out your own orange juice, and then people started selling pasteurized juice in plastic, and you have the acidic orange juice in plastic. Imagine what that does to your body.
You don't have to imagine what does pasteurized orange juice does do in your body if it's stored in plastic. Because we have studies showing that pregnant women who are exposed to plastic have children with small genitalia and less testosterone, less sperm counts when they grow up. Just because in the womb their mom just consumed something from plastic more often. Like the more plastic you consume and the closer you are to having a child inside of your womb, the more affected the child will be. The less likely it will be to reproduce. And the more likely it will be to, yeah, first of all, if you have lower testosterone and sperm, of course, you are going to be less likely to reproduce. But also, by correlation, such people who are less likely to reproduce also die sooner, according to studies. There are studies showing that. So it's natural selection. People who don't care about anything, they're just going to fade away and die off. It's eugenics. That is true. Actually, maybe people became taller on average. I can admit that. I think people now are taller in a lot of cases than before. Like in the 50s when we had like communism and whatever. Like, yeah, sometimes they are taller because they just eat fuck ton of calories or something. But their faces, their like my chopped jaw, and their need for glasses and braces and ADHD, everything is getting worse with every generation, and everyone who doesn't have their head in their rear end can fucking see it. Go take a walk in your capital, or go take a random bus in the city. You will understand what I'm talking about. All these, I've said enough. Eugenics.
About cooked meat, a lot of people get food poisoning. It is what it is.
Zero.
Years ago at Davis University in Northern California, they took raw milk and they spiked it with 5 different bacteria that are accused of growing in raw milk. Since the lactic acid is raw, the bacteria could not grow. It could not flourish. However, when they spiked pasteurized milk, it grew in an instant.
I was actually unable to find the exact study which he's mentioning, but I found a study which did the exact same thing which he is describing, and it's on PubMed, and it shows the exact same fucking thing. If you want to replicate the study in like more less scientific manner, but still like showing concrete results, go take a glass of raw milk and leave it out for 2 weeks, and then drink it. And then maybe if you do it, you will face like, because it tastes a little sour. Then go and take pasteurized milk and leave it out for 2 weeks. And then don't drink it because you will fucking die. Literally. You can drink raw milk, which is like, the guy behind camera will be my witness. We literally drank fucking 6 months old raw milk for probiotics. Go and drink, yeah.
That's true. And I have a video of my friend. We were drunk. We were drinking that milk, and he was okay then.
Yeah.
And it was even more aged. It was like 8 months already.
Now, take a glass of safe pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk is so fucking safe. Like, raw milk is so fucking dangerous. You leave it out for a year. You forget to close it for a fucking year. You drink it and you don't even fucking notice, even if you are not even a primal dieter. But pasteurized milk is so fucking safe. You put it into a glass, you leave it out for a fucking week, and you are going to fucking die. You can have glass of pasteurized milk and glass of raw milk. In every single fucking case, if the glass of raw milk is 10 or even 100 times, that's too much, because then it gets too detoxifying and can like reach minerals from your bones. But if it's 10 times as old as the pasteurized milk glass, it will always be safer. 10 days old glass of raw milk or 20 is safer than 1 or 2 days pasteurized. But if it's like 3 or 4 days, it's probably molding already. But you can drink like 40 days old glass of raw milk wherever. Like you can go and randomly convince a stranger or do it yourself. Like drink nothing but raw milk, like a gallon of it a day, and have no food whatsoever. You can do this for a fucking week, and I've done that and be okay. Do it with pasteurized milk. Have no food whatsoever, only pasteurized milk. A gallon of it a day. You will fucking die or something. Pasteurized milk is fucking dangerous. You just randomly forget it for a week, and then it's poison.
That was dangerous. So raw milk, raw meat or not, when you cook them and then the bacteria feeds on it, there are toxic byproducts.
That's true, because each time you heat anything and cook it or boil it, you create heterocyclic amines, acrylamides, advanced glycation byproducts, polyaromatic hydrocarbons, and I think there was a fifth one. Acrylamides, heterocyclic amines. I will try to remember. I think there was the fifth one. And most of these are carcinogenic each time you cook anything. And there's a thing called digestive leukocytosis. When you consume anything which is cooked, your white blood cell count in your body increases to have an immune reaction and literally fucking act like if the cooked food you just ate was an infection. Your white blood cell count raises to fight it off. And if you eat something raw with it, it decreases. If you eat something which is only raw, it doesn't even fucking happen because of the toxicity which is caused by cooking. If you have something raw, which is full of bacteria, it rots whatever you can eat it. If you have something cooked and you create all of this nonsense, and then you let it rot, and the bacteria eats all of the toxic shit you created, you are going to get fucking poisoned. If you go to the toilet afterwards, it's going to be Saigon. But no, if it's raw, it's okay. You can literally eating raw cow shit is safer than fucking pasteurized nonsense, which is randomly too old.
Otherwise, they help you.
So the takeaway here is, again, this is a diet that you've used that has contributed, in your opinion, greatly to your health. And I think that is wonderful. That's the whole point of the show. Shocking health trends. Again, I think it's wonderful that you eat this. No thanks.
The way he smiled.
Thanks, not for me. I'll take my chicken cooked. Thank you.
Have you ever been to a French restaurant?
I
Steak
have.
tartare, raw meat with raw
Don't you
egg.
have, and absolutely, there are certain meats and fish, sushi, that if prepared correctly,
He said if prepared correctly. But the thing is that all that they do is freeze it because they believe that you will kill the microbes, and then they serve it to you. But most of the steak tartare dishes are made out of grain-fed meat, just some random meat. It's nothing special, with the exception that they usually take lean meat. And if the animals had some kind of toxins inside of them...
I've been eating pork, which was certainly factory-raised. Like factory-raised pork, shit quality, including the fat. Now, organs and bone marrow of unhealthy animals, that's fucking dangerous because there's toxicity really stores in them. But like fat tissue, if it's like not America where they literally eat, or UK where they can feed pigs like candy, which is still wrapped in plastic and they eat that, I probably wouldn't even eat the lean meat. But if it's like Czech Republic where they just feed them like grain-based garbage, it's fine. I've been eating factory-raised pork for over 5 years straight, didn't get sick from it, and it tastes great. Factory-raised pork tastes fucking godly, at least in Czech Republic, I swear to you. I've been eating it for 5 years over, and I don't get bored from it. It tastes so fucking good, and I'm certain it's healthy for me. Most of the time, I've been eating from a butchery, but sometimes, for a year or more, I've been eating the cheapest cuts, which were shipped from Spain and vacuum sealed. Never had an issue. Oh, fine, it's fine.
And the toxins would be in the bone marrow, the fat, organs, which is what you shouldn't consume if you're eating modern toxic farmed animals.
That is true. When I started to eat raw meat, I watched Gotis and I was like, organs are healthy. I should only eat organs. And I've been eating the cheapest organs ever. And organs store like a million times more fat, more toxins than fat. and I was getting diarrhea all the time. And I was like, I'm just detoxing. The diarrhea will go away. I just need to eat more organs. And I was eating so much organs and having so much diarrhea. I understood, oh, maybe the toxins store in the organs if the animals are sick. Maybe I should eat muscle meat. And then I started to eat muscle meat, and I was okay since. Yeah, however, fat from pork, unless it's literally eating plastic, I think it's still fine because the toxins do store in like fat, but most of the toxins come when they like medicate them or something, which happens mostly, I suppose, I'm not sure, if they are young. When they are young and they don't have that much body fat, so it goes into their organs, their bone marrow, and their brain. But when they get older and they eat like grains, the fat will still be full of pesticides or something, but it will not have as they are medicated, I suppose, when they are young, and the body fat that you will be eating they gain afterwards, while the toxins from medication already got stored in the organs and the brain and bone marrow. So yeah, each time I ate bone marrow from a butchery, like low quality, I had like sore throat. So that's like toxicity. But I've been eating so much like muscle fat, like fat tissue, like pork bellies and raw lard. It's like these. It's like something like suet. It's like white, but it's from a pork, and it tastes godly. And I've been eating kilos and kilos of it. I swear I must have been like 100 or 200 kilos or more of that substance. And I've always felt better and healthier after it. And it was low quality factory raised pork. It's fine. It's fine. Fat from toxic animals can be fine. Experiment with it, it might not be. But if it's like pork bellies or something, it's fine.
They always use lemon, ginger, something acidic, because that way you can kill off and neutralize some of the toxins, especially when you consume sushi, which is made out of farmed salmon.
Well, maybe some like sour acidic things can somewhat like do that. I'm not sure. Well, actually, whenever you have nausea, you can drink apple cider vinegar, and it will help you to stop having nausea. If you have nausea, it's better to have raw unsalted cheese because it literally absorbs toxins and you will stop having nausea. Like, go eat raw unsalted cheese and you will not have nausea anymore. But if you don't have that, having some apple cider vinegar actually helps you to get rid of nausea. But I think that's more like you being able to digest something which you were not in the first place. It's more like it helps you to digest better than to like destroy toxicity. I think
toxins,
maybe,
especially when you consume sushi, which is made out of farmed salmon.
Lower in risk for bacteria and all these other bad things. But again, if you're at home, don't go to the grocery store and pick up a few chicken breasts and eat them raw.
Absolutely, you shouldn't do that. You should get meat from wild animals, ideally, and if not that, then from some kind of farms. Talk to the farmer, find out what they feed them.
Go to the butchery, unless you live in the UK where pigs eat plastic, and go buy the cheapest muscle meat cut from pork, which doesn't have bones in it, and then some raw pork fat or raw butter or something, and it's completely fine. Okay, ideally go to a farm and support your local farmer. But if you are a broke student who is depending on money from your parents or whatever, if you are desperate, you can just do that and be fine. This is not medical advice, but it's something which I've done, and if I was young, I would do it again.
But even way more importantly, find out what they give them, if you understand what I mean, and the medications and everything.
Because you do risk
injections.
Very serious illness.
Now we are going to look at what he had to say about his appearance on the show.
Hi, I'm Aajonus and I'm sure many of you saw me on the doctor's program. It wasn't quite fair because they did not let me answer all questions because there are 4 of them and only 1 of me. And the fact that Dr. Travis went on the Dr. Phil show and talked about this diet. Now, this is a diet he knows nothing about. Doctors have no training in nutrition on diet at all. 5 or 6 hours maybe in all of the 12 years of their education. And when they're in the hospitals and in practice, they have no exposure to it except by hearsay. They don't study, don't observe it. So for him to make a commentary that is dangerous is one of the most unscientifically
My friend back there, and you don't have to come, he had some issues with some infections and whatever, like some fucking disgusting stuff. He has some disease when he was young, and he was eating fucking bread with Nutella every single day of his life, and he had some fucking infections or something. His doctors never asked him what was he eating and what was his fucking lifestyle. They just gave him pills. You eat bread with Nutella every single fucking day. Yeah, like if foundation of your fucking diet is bread with Nutella when you are young and developing, and then you are fucking sick, And even if you stopped and it stopped like you stopped getting sick, then they don't care. They don't care what you are eating. They just give you pills.
A healthy diet consists of eating rotten meat. Wait till you see what's inside this guy's refrigerator.
What would you do if you went to the fridge for a snack and saw this? If you're Aajonus Vonderplanet, you grab a fork and dig right in.
They portrayed him as if that's all that he eats.
He actually done it on purpose. He was supposed to be there eating raw meat, and they were like, "You eat rotten meat? Can we make it like it's only thing you eat?" And he was fine with it. Like, a lot of people criticized Aajonus for it, but he was fine with it because he was trying to push a message. If I eat only rotten stuff, like only raw rotten stuff, and I'm fine, then obviously eating clean raw stuff is completely fucking fine. Like, what the fuck is in there? Is it like a fucking tornado or? So yeah, he was like pretending it's only thing he's eating to shock people and make it clear to them like, look, this guy eats nothing but fucking rotten meat and he's fucking fine. So how about you just ate this fucking clean steak tartare and not be a fucking pussy? Because if you eat rotten meat, then how can and you are fine? How can you be afraid of clean, fresh raw meat? Like, you get the point.
Believe it or not, he's been eating the foulest food he can find for the last 3 decades. In fact, the meat he eats every day is intentionally rotted for over a year.
He actually had some guy who was eating nothing but, he had Aajonus as a client, who was eating nothing but rotten meat. And he used to be very depressed and whatever. When he started to eat nothing but raw meat, I mean high meat, rotten meat, he became very funny and jolly to be around. And it completely reversed his life. Like, he said he had like 3 girlfriends because he was so charming after eating nothing but rotten meat for years. Because it does make you like euphoric and high. Like, if I was full of rotten meat right now, I wouldn't have this mood. I wouldn't be like fucking eugenics and raw meat and you have to grow up and not be a pussy and eat a raw steak. If I was full of high meat, I guarantee you, I would be like happy, like such fucking idiots. Like, bro, eat raw meat, go and get tan and be happy and grow your hair out. That's how I would be. That's how I am when I eat rotten meat, because it just makes you fucking happy. It's good stuff.
Some people have commented on my videos saying that high meat is not very appetizing.
That's a good point. I will let him finish and then I will comment.
And that's why it's counterintuitive to eat it. That's true. In some cases, I tried all kinds of high meat over the years. High muscle meat, as in fermented muscle meat, doesn't taste good for the most part. But when it comes to high liver and brain especially, that tastes like some kind of luxurious cheese that you would buy in a fancy French cheese store. I'm talking about the brain. My point is simply that some fermented animal foods can taste really good. But there are a lot of exceptions, that's true, and you should never go against your intuition. I guess that you can try out some stuff, but from my experience, I can tell you that you cannot go wrong with liver and brain.
As a child, Aajonus was
Goldus is such a fucking retard. Basically, his point of view is like, you should never eat anything if it's against your intuition. And you should eat according to your intuition. As long as it's natural. Well, rotten meat did heal people from wheat addiction, and from schizophrenia, and from chronic depression. Rotten meat will help you and your life will be better if you eat it. Not medical advice, by the way. But rotten meat tastes fucking disgusting. I've been eating raw meat for 5 years. Over 5 years. And I've been drinking raw, rotten milk almost every day for 5 years. I've had snake, which I've picked along the road and put it into a fucking jar. And then I was hiding it in my school's locker because I couldn't have it home because of my parents. And then I was drinking the black fluid from it. 6 months after. I've had many rotten meats. I bought a fucking boar, the fucking dead thing, and I've cracked open its fucking skull, and I've got its brain into a jar, and then I fermented it in sunlight for like a month. And before that, I had like low factory fired pork brain, which is months old. I had like so much raw rotten meats. Rotten meat tastes like shit every single fucking time. Even if it's a wild boar brain, even if it's grass-fed liver, it tastes like shit 99% of the time. Sometimes it can happen, it tastes like cheese or mango or whatever. That does happen. But the most of the time, rotten meat tastes like shit. And you have to suppress your intuition and go against your instincts, which tell you to not eat it, because of man-made beliefs. Like some guy you don't even know it's true, it's objectively true, but you don't know that. The reason you eat rotten meat, is because of man-made beliefs. Like someone convinced you with man-made beliefs that rotten meat is healthier and will be good for you. And you go against your intuition and you do that. If you follow these man-made beliefs that rotten meat is good for you and suppress your intuition and go against your instincts and eat it, you can overcome your wheat addiction and your depression and your schizophrenia and feel very joyful and happy and high, and not high, but very happy and joyful. Euphoric. Not high, but euphoric. You don't feel high after high meat, but you do feel euphoric. It should be called euphoric meat, honestly. And that's you going against your intuition. So you should absolutely, your intuition can be good sometimes, but not regards to your fucking diet most of the time. If you're like, I feel like I should eat like more butter, then probably yeah, it's good. But most of the time, like even if you're like, I don't feel like eating raw meat today, I should just drink raw milk, or I should have more fruit, or most of the time your intuition fucking sucks because you have been poisoned since you were born, and your intuition and your biology is completely fucking destroyed. You should throw away your intuition like a fucking brainwashed slave and operate on man-made beliefs. Like, be honest with me here. Do you eat raw meat because of your intuition? Because you intuitively just want to eat raw meat? Yeah, you do. But you intuitively also, when your parents are cooking a steak and it smells good, or when they are cooking a pizza, or they bring a fucking cake or something, like after enough years on the diet, it disappears. Like I don't even like crave stuff when they cook like pizza or some shit. But like most of you guys, and to me, like few years ago still, when people cook a fucking pizza, or you smell a cooked steak, or you see fucking seasoning, you see fucking, I don't know, whatever, when you see ice cream, when you are really fucking thirsty, and you have nothing to drink, and the only thing you can drink is like Coke, like soda, which is like full of sugar and fructose syrup, but it's ice cold, and it's the only thing you can drink right now, and it's sunny and hot, and you are thirsty and whatever. Your intuition and your instincts are telling you to drink it. But your man-made beliefs that no, that's unhealthy, and I shall drink raw milk and eat raw meat because it's healthy. And I will, despite, it's not your intuition. You understand the point. You are on the diet. You are avoiding unhealthy foods, and you are drinking healthy foods. Because maybe your intuition is telling you to do that. But your instincts, which are actually not your intuition, your instincts, which are separate from your intuition, your instincts are telling you to go and consume fucking soda when you are thirsty, or to take drugs if you're addicted, or to eat cooked food which your parents made, which are full of glyphosate or something. Your instincts are telling you to eat that. And sometimes they are telling you to not eat raw meat today, because but whatever. But if you eat raw meat that day, and you don't eat these things, if you deny your instincts, and you follow man-made beliefs prescribed by Aajonus or Weston A. Price or whatever, or Gotis, you have man-made belief about raw organs being great for you, and toxic food being bad for you. You don't even know it. It's just, you just believe it. But accept not operating on your instincts, but on man-made beliefs. Because the rotten meat is the perfect example. Even if you've had like rotten meat which tastes good, most of the time it tastes like shit. And even if it tastes like shit, and your instincts are telling you to eat it, because if I tell you to eat it, I go to prison or something. But if I eat rotten meat, I will be better off. Ignore your instincts. Somewhat, to some extent. Otherwise, you end up addicted to drugs. There are so many people who watch Gotis and are like, I need to follow my instincts and be in my comfort zone and whatever. And then they end up like taking drugs or cooking their meat because it tastes better, and being unhealthy and being in comfort, and not exercising and not going to the sun, just playing video games because it's less stressful. Like, His mindset is so fucking retarded. You can, if you follow it, then just yeah. But no, my mindset actually works only on things which are natural. No one cares about that part. Like, I'm done.
Constantly getting sick, and he fought through years of frustrating illness.
By the time I was probably 6, 7 years old, I developed colds and flus that would last from 3 to 5 months.
I'm sorry, but someone has to say it. By the time I was 6, 7 years old.
Then, in the late 60s, Aajonus was diagnosed with deadly lymphoma cancer. He immediately began a series of radiation treatments to halt the deadly disease. But the cancer kept on spreading.
They got me.
Here, Aajonus set out to travel the world. While in Alaska, members of a local Inuit tribe took him in. According to their custom, they encouraged the dying man to eat a remedy of raw, rotten meat.
It stunk like dead animal. And I mean, it was horrendous. I couldn't get within 5 feet without wanting to vomit.
Yeah, he ate it against his instincts, and he was fine. And okay, I just did talk about it actually. Besides smelling like hell, it tasted pretty good, which I can like see. If it's a fucking seal or a walrus or a fucking narwhal, it's going to taste good probably. I understand that, but like even if it tasted well, the smell was horrendous, and he was hating it, and his instincts were telling him not to fucking eat it. If he didn't eat it, he would probably be dead by now.
In depth, the world of putrid meats and organs. He discovered there's actually a science to this diet of decomposition.
Well, bacteria, virus, and parasites feed on degenerative tissue. So it helps you get rid of the poisons that are in the body. It's like vultures and crows. They feed on degenerative animals. They don't go around attacking healthy animals.
That's true. When you die, your microbiome will literally start eating you apart. But when you are alive, it's not eating you apart. How come? Maybe it's that bacteria don't consume like healthy living tissues, but consume like dead degenerative tissues. So the more bacteria you eat, they fucking, that's the best fucking proof. You are not rotting. When you die, you start to rot. That's such a good fucking argument.
Now, preparing food is a simple process. He chops a variety of animal parts into cubes. These he places in jars with plenty of airspace. Then, Aajonus lets nature take its course.
You have to open it every 3 to 4 days to put more oxygen in it to keep the bacteria moving.
If you would hunt down animals, sometimes you wouldn't be able to eat the whole animal at once.
I agree, we are animals and we hunt, and then sometimes the animal rots, and if it rots, it's healthier than if you store it in salt, whatever. But the idea of you hunt down an animal, and then it starts rot, and you are camping near the carcass, and you eat the carcass, and when it starts rotting, you still eat it from the carcass. It's like kind of disgusting. It's not disgusting. I could do that, but honestly, if you're like black or like an Indian or something, and you have the idea of, oh yeah, we hunted an animal, and then it started rotting because we couldn't eat it fast enough, and then we started to eat the animal while it was rotting. Like, okay, like you live in nature, whatever, but if you're like white, and your ancestors were literally like Greek philosophers writing stuff on a papyri, and Romans living in streets under statues of Roman gods, and people just in fucking hats and like working on farms and having tractor. Like, if you are fucking white and your idea of the world is, oh yeah, we hunt down an animal, and when it starts rotting, we still eat it from the carcass. That's kind of fucking disgusting, honestly. Like, okay, if I kill an animal and I have fucked ton of meat and I store it in like 0 to 1 degree, so it's not frozen because freezing destroys the nutrients, but it's like it's very slow to rot, and it like still rots. I will still eat it, but like the way he talks about nature, it's just, if you are like African or like Native American, whatever, go ahead. But if you are white and your ancestors were building statues of Roman gods, don't be like that. Please, don't fucking be like that. We don't want to be seen like that, or whatever.
And,
I'm done.
Then the meat would slowly ferment.
The meat's not ready until mold and bacteria have done their dirty work for at least a month. But a warning, eating any spoiled food can be extremely dangerous, even deadly. Don't try this at home. In fact, it's a putrefaction process so hazardous that food safety specialist Jeff Davidson simply cannot support it.
I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be concerned with things like an E. coli, a salmonella.
Look at his gut, at his hairline.
Diarrhea.
Right, this is a buffalo heart chopped up.
Oh, whoa.
Some of Aajonus's favorite meats decay in their own juices for over a year.
This is cod livers. This is about 1 year and 3 months old.
I've never tried something such as cod livers. I could imagine that it tasted good.
Doctors warn that consuming spoiled food could lead to illness or even...
Oh, my fucking phone. There's a fucking study showing that babies who are fed cod liver oil during the first few months of like infancy or something, they never, absolutely never, develop type something diabetes, while children from the same study, from the same cohort of population, who were not fed cod liver oil, literally did develop diabetes at the rates or percentage of regular population. So yeah, it's like diabetes is something with your like pancreas and like sugar and whatever, but still eating fucking oil from a liver, it fucking reverses or prevents diabetes from ever happening, like tens of years down the line. That's how miracles like nutritious foods are, like liver, cod liver, any liver, honestly. Fuck yeah.
Death. Aajonus claims his afflictions have miraculously disappeared, a situation he attributes to consuming spoiled cuisine. As strange as it may sound, with each bite of rotten flesh, Aajonus says he only gets stronger. This rotten meat eater has even written a how-to book about his unique diet. And not only that, he's a certified nutritionist, actually counseling patients to improve their health. But even with all the positive benefits he attributes to eating rotten flesh, Aajonus does have one important piece of advice.
You don't want to do it in your house because it'll stink your house up.
Believe it.
I did make rotten meat at home when I lived with my parents. And sometimes it would always happen that the time I would be airing it, they would come home or something at the very bad time. And it's terrible. Or one time, I've had it in like, it like fell and like spilled. And then my room was full of maggots and the juice and whatever. And there was a stain on the wooden floor from the high meat juice, which was not, I was not able to remove it even with like bleach. And the maggots swimming in the liver was such a fucking disgusting memory. Then I hidden them outside in the summer, and it was full of snails and bugs and shit like that. It was disgusting. I don't even regret doing it, but I don't want anyone doing that. I would never recommend anyone storing it outside because I didn't want to air it, so I just had it open. But the point is, I was eating months-old rotten organ meat from shit sources full of antibiotics. With like, there were snail shells. Like, snails would come into the high meat, and they will get drowned in the high meat juice. And then there was like fuck ton of bugs or something. Dead bugs drowned in the high meat juice. Disgusting. I was ultra depressed. And the high meat, each time I had the high meat, it made me not depressed for a while. So it didn't say, I wasn't suicidal, but it was disgusting. Don't do it. But I ate that, didn't get sick. And a lot of times when I had high brain specifically, rotten brain, I was very, very happy and joyful. And life became just me dancing to a beautiful and wonderful songs in my headphones in the sunlight with nothing to worry about before the high meat wore off. Like, high meat is a good temporary solution for depression or whatever, and if you eat it like regularly and whatever, but it always wore off eventually. And if you are depressed, then high meat helps you with a lot of stuff and mental stuff. But if you are depressed, a high meat or no diet intervention, and like honestly, avoiding blue light and getting sunlight, it will help like crazy. Sunlight will help like crazy. But even at the end of the day, even when I was in Canary Islands and had no blue light and I was completely like doing the best thing I could for my physical health, I was very depressed because I was heartbroken and traumatized. And that went on for years. And I've learned how to heal trauma. And no amount of high meat will help your mental health the way healing trauma will. Like, you should learn to heal trauma. I will make more content about it. You can like message me about it, whatever. But if you are depressed and your life is shit, doing like a Andrew Huberman journaling protocol for your trauma, go look that up, is a million times more important for your mental health and survival than eating rotten or even raw meat, honestly. If someone is depressed, I will not even feed them raw meat. I will just tell them to go do a fucking journaling protocol from Andrew Huberman or something. That's how bad trauma is. Primal diet or quantum biology will not save you if you cannot heal trauma.
The only real problem with following the primal diet is that it's a diet. And what I mean by that is that it was thought of by a human being. It's not what you naturally want to eat. For example,
Well, I don't know, bro. Like or not I, but most people naturally just want to eat cereals and sugar. What the fuck are you talking about?
to eat. For example, if you follow a vegan diet in your mind, then you are following specific guidelines. You believe that you should only eat these specific foods, and then you will be healthy. The problem with following any kind of diet is that if you don't feel like eating something,
I don't feel like eating croton meat, so I shouldn't eat it because of my instincts. But it literally makes me feel euphoric and makes me stronger in the gym if I eat it as a pre-workout, and it's obviously good for me. Like even if I had like fresh raw milk, which is completely fresh and full of, it's like sweet as fuck, or I have the rotten raw milk, and the fresh raw milk gives me. I naturally want to drink more. Actually, I don't. I'm like so used to it. But let's say most of people, I naturally want you want to like drink the raw milk, which is fresh, because it tastes better. But when I drink the fermented milk, then if I drink the fresh raw milk, I feel thirsty again after some time, and I have like white tongue or something. If I drink the fermented milk, which I naturally have instinctively want to drink less because it doesn't taste as well, I feel stronger, more hydrated. I like have less thirst. I'm more satiated. I feel like more satisfied, and I have stronger libido, and I'm more likely to have a wet dream afterwards. And if I consume mostly fermented raw milk, I'm physically stronger when I'm working on a farm or whatever. So I suppress my instincts and I drink like something which tastes worse, and then I feel like healthier. And both of these are natural foods, so clearly your instincts are not arbiter of what you should be doing. It's man-made beliefs or observations. It's observations. If you observe repeatedly that something is better than something else, even though your instincts tell you that you want that something else, the something which you observe to be better is better for you. It's not what you want at the moment. It's what you observe being better for you in the long term repeatedly.
maybe you read his book and you started eating some cooked starch and nut butter, seed slime, which is toxic, of course. But you may believe that eventually it will help you. Maybe you drink some kind of poisonous vegetable juices and decide.
So, first of all, the nut butter, it's like a formula. Like, if you are very mentally unstable, if you are like have excess adrenaline or excess emotions or something, then eating cooked starch or nut formula, which is like a bit of raw nuts with a bunch of raw butter, raw honey, and raw eggs, that's supposed to like absorb excess adrenaline which is releasing in you or whatever, and it makes you way less emotional and it makes you way better off. And someone like Goatis, who literally gets fucking like, have you seen that video? I don't watch Goatis, but I've randomly seen him getting mad. Like he was watching After Björnsson eating some bullshit, and he was like, "No," he was like getting so fucking crazy, like mad, like. You are fucking retard! You should be eating raw liver! Like, you are from Iceland! Why are you eating a salad? You should go hunting! Even though Icelanders settled the land and there were like no mammals besides the Arctic fox, and Icelanders never fucking hunted. They just farmed animals because it's more easy to do for you. They just fished and farmed animals. But you are from Iceland. You should go hunting. Like he is laughing at people who, like, let's say the World Cup. Like people are playing football, and he's like, look at these idiots who are giving their emotions into some guys kicking a ball around a game. Like, bro, he is fucking losing his mind over a guy eating some nonsense. Like, go eat raw meat. If you are getting very emotional over someone kicking a man-made ball in a net, if there are thousands of people around you doing the same thing, it's kind of understandable. But if you are that retarded that you are like, you are from Iceland, you should be hunting, like he is, then over a fucking diet, if you are this crazy, like I'm like I look like mean and aggressive and like this energy, but I'm not like I'm even like complaining, but I'm not like aggressively losing my mind. Like it's obvious he's fucking he would benefit. If you are like goatis, basically, you should consume the nut formula or cooked starch so you are less crazy. And it's like very little amount of cooked starch or nut formula, and it's always with fuck ton of raw fat, so it absorbs most of the toxicity. And you, even if it is toxic, and I just talks about cooked starch being toxic, so instead he recommends the nut formula, which the toxins in there are absorbed by all of the fat and raw egg and the honey and whatever. And by the way, it tasted fucking great. It tastes like fucking chocolate. It tastes like raw liver tastes like chocolate. Yeah, maybe, but like starch, like nuts with butter and honey. That's literally chocolate. That literally tastes like chocolate. Like not like raw liver tastes like chocolate. Like that literally is fucking chocolate. Your intuition will always tell you to eat it. It tastes so fucking good. And all the foods are actually natural. Raw butter, raw honey, raw egg, raw fucking nut, which literally grows like outside. It's natural foods. Like he's telling you, eat what your intuition tells you to do. Well, but only do it as long as the foods are natural. Where? Well, if you eat the nut formula from Aajonus, your intuition and your instincts will tell you to eat the nut butter because it tastes so fucking good. And at the same time, all of the foods inside of the nut formula are natural. He just disproved himself. Eat what you want to, as long as the food is natural. But you shouldn't eat nut formula because it's unnatural. It's seed sludge, and it's also your instincts tell you to not do it. Your instincts tell you to consume nut formula because it tastes great, and all of the ingredients are natural. But no, you shouldn't eat nuts because they are poisonous or something. Actually, no, I disagree, Gotis. The fact that, or the idea that nuts are poisonous, actually, that's a man-made belief. Like the only way for me to not consume a nut formula is to be convinced by someone like he just said. If you are on a diet, then you think, oh no, I shouldn't eat this and I shouldn't eat that, but I can eat that. Because you follow man-made beliefs, which then make you not eat what you naturally want to eat. I naturally want to eat a nut formula, which is made out of natural ingredients, but I will not do it because I follow Goldis's man-made idea that the nuts, even though they are natural, they are bad for me. Because that's so fucking retarded. Like the only reason to not consume a nut formula are man-made ideas about nuts being bad for you. They are, but that's a man-made idea. It's a man-made idea. You wouldn't know that naturally. They taste great. My fucking god, it's so fucking stupid.
Maybe you drink some kind of poisonous vegetable juices, and besides the pesticides, the vegetables have actual poisons, of course, inside of them. And you could go against your...
If you wash out the pesticides with baking soda and then you drink that, bro, if it's hot, it's very appetizing. If it's hot, it's very appetizing to drink cold celery juice, and it tastes great. And it doesn't just taste great. Whenever I drink it, my body is like, bro, drink more of it. I love this. It's not like unnatural foods, like you eat some seed oil garbage, like you want it because it tastes good, but then you feel like shit. It's like celery juice tastes like kind of neutral, but afterwards, like half an hour afterwards, you feel like, that's great. I want more of it. It's like your body is telling you it like tastes wonderful. Now, celery juice, yeah, the plant is cultivated, so it's not purely natural, but still, your body tells you it craves it. It's great. It tastes really fucking good. You should try it.
Following the primal diet. That's why I don't promote any diets. I only promote completely following your nature, your instincts, and eating what feels good to you, as long as the food is natural, of course.
I only promote following your nature and your instincts. Go eat seed oils. Well, no, as long as the food is natural. Well, what he just said is like, I only promote that you should eat natural foods, but you shouldn't go on a diet. But if you go on the fucking primal diet, then you have a diet which tells you to only eat natural foods. Like, diets are wrong and you should not follow them. Instead of following a diet, you should only eat natural foods. But if you follow a diet, which is a diet about only eating natural foods, then that's somehow a problem. Because because there is not formula, which like 1 out of 10 people should consume or something. Not which like yeah, like 1 out of 10 people should realistically consume because most maybe more, whatever. Because there is a nut formula, which is all done out of natural ingredients and tastes fucking awesome and makes you feel better and is healthy for you. And it's completely natural, and your intuition and instincts will tell you to eat it.
Which of course have been cultivated, maybe some honey also, and some people may not be able to tolerate dairy, but the primal diet was heavily based on dairy.
If you are not able to tolerate dairy, then you should consume raw kefir instead of raw fresh milk. And like, I'm not able to tolerate dairy. Motherfucker, Gotis, you were filming yourself under the Sverage channel, consuming fuck ton of raw butter, like daily, for fucking years. I'm not able to tolerate dairy. You are not able to tolerate fresh raw milk, but you are able to tolerate kefir. Like, how the fuck does someone who has made videos about eating years old rotten meat not think of consuming fermented raw milk? Odd to me. And actually, I think that you should go against your instincts and whatever and consume raw milk. No, you don't go. Your instincts tell you that you want to eat raw milk. Because look, I have 2 experiences with raw milk. Even if raw milk causes you problems and you get diarrhea from it, you should consume raw milk because 2 reasons. I have 2 reasons to believe this. First of all, I used to have diarrhea from almost everything I ate, and I used to have diarrhea from raw milk. So I will get rid of my diarrhea because I went on an elimination diet and I went on carnivore and then raw meat and whatever. Anytime I will drink raw milk, I will get the diarrhea. Then I will learn that if you drink raw milk room temperature and not cold, you will stop getting diarrhea. I still got diarrhea even from fresh room temperature raw milk. Then I learned that you need to consume it with honey, or that you need to drink it fermented or whatever. I needed to do a bunch of stuff to be able to consume raw milk fresh without getting diarrhea. I could not drink raw milk fresh without getting a diarrhea for like a year. Then my gut fixed or something. But afterwards, I've still had some gut issues, like overall, which gone away during the years. But each time I've had the raw milk, my digestion was the best. Like even on the raw meat diet, I would sometimes get bad digestion, and I don't think that's like poisoning or something, because I used to have bad digestion and digestive cramps from absolutely everything I ate ever. Even on the raw meat, if I ate like fresh grass-fed meat with it like just like no poisons at all, I would sometimes get random fucking gut issues. Each time I had raw milk, it was the best, and the more raw milk I drank, I believe, the better my gut got, and the better I was able to tolerate even like cooked foods, like even toxic foods which I'm not supposed to be eating. I'm now able to tolerate them because raw milk fixed my gut, and I know it's raw milk. And each time I have raw milk, my stools are the best, and I feel the best. Even though I used to have diarrhea from raw milk, so oh no, my body is telling me that I shouldn't drink raw milk because I get diarrhea when drinking them for like 1 week. I should just give up. No, I continued. I learned how to tolerate raw milk, and now I feel the best when I drink raw milk. And I felt the best drinking raw milk after I got used to it. Second, there's this motherfucker called Bloodsteel, a cool guy, somewhat. He's like a Gotis clone. But he made a video a few years ago, and I was really pissed at him, like fucking retard. He named the video, Raw Milk is for Women. Because drinking raw milk is not as masculine and badass as eating raw organs like Gotis. Like, yeah, guys, let's drink blood and organs because it's masculine. And drinking raw milk, that doesn't spike my dopamine quite as much as drinking raw blood, so it's not as manly. So let me make a video, Raw Milk is for Women. And in that video, he basically talk about, oh yeah, I cannot tolerate raw milk, so it's probably not that good. Motherfucker, few months ago, he made a video, like a update, like 3 years of eating raw meat. And the whole video is like, I've became able to tolerate raw milk, and since that, my digestion and my gut became better, and I'm 100% sure that raw milk removed my allergies or something. He went from raw milk is from woman, and I cannot tolerate raw milk. From the second he became able to tolerate raw milk healed my fucking allergies and my gut. And absolutely everyone ever, 99.999% of people and 100% of white people will tolerate from consuming raw milk. Even if you get diarrhea or you cannot tolerate fresh raw milk, you can tolerate rotten raw milk. And you will benefit from having that. Honestly, I think raw milk is more important for a lot of people than raw meat. Because it's way richer. Like, a lot of people, of course, will develop better and need raw meat is more important for a lot of people. But for most of toxic people out there who still are engaged in like society and are full of toxins, then raw milk is way better because raw milk has a bunch of alkalizic minerals which will alkalize you and are better for fighting of toxicity than raw meat. Raw meat is great for building tissue and for repairing injuries and building yourself and giving you energy, like building your body. But if your body is completely sick, then you might rebuild it with raw meat. But having raw fat and raw milk specifically, full of alkalizic minerals and whatever, it's way better at cleaning you and detoxing you, like getting toxins, like building your body fat and your myelin sheath around your nerves, like you have fat tissue around your, not tissue, but fat around your nerves and feeding your brain. Just raw milk is more important for most people in modern society than raw meat. I'm not fucking kidding. If I lived in pristine environment on a farm, then raw meat will be more important. But if I lived in middle of a city, which most people do, raw milk is more important than raw meat. Because raw milk cleans and protects. Raw meat rebuilds. You have to do both. But if you can only do one, and you are a normie, and at the same time, it's infinitely times more easy for you to consume raw milk than raw meat, then you might as well just drink raw milk. Like, I don't know, because if you follow Goatis, then you are going to learn about Aajonus and hop on the primal diet. Because Goatis stands on absolutely fucking nothing, when Aajonus stands on fucking solid foundation. So you are just going to free to do something else than what Goatis says. But someone going on a fucking post-Saladino diet and not consuming fruit as much as he does, just eating cooked meat and a bunch of raw milk and raw cheese and raw what? Well, cheese which store-bought cheese which post-Saladino consumes is not actually raw. You cannot get raw cheese in the supermarket. But raw butter, raw cream, raw milk, raw cooked meat, and some fruit. Not as much as he does, but some fruit. That's probably healthier for average person than whatever the fuck Goatis is eating. That's why Goatis is fucking crazy and is losing his mind over Icelanders eating fucking protein shakes and ordering hitmen to throw acid attacks on his ex and why he fucking lost all of his fucking hair. That's why, because his diet is just organs which spike you full of everything with Goatis' diet is wrong. It's mostly organs, which drives him fucking nuts. And Aajonus talked about people who ate mostly organs being fucking nuts. Goatis is the fucking example. And second, the first food of the day, he consumes fucking fruit with no fat, which makes you fucking crazy. If you know about anything from Aajonus, you know you shouldn't consume fruit a lot. Especially not as your fucking fuel source in the morning. That makes you fucking crazy.
Most part, and I'm sure that I never will be able to. And there's a lot of people out there who force themselves to drink raw milk. They have gas. They know that they cannot actually digest it, but they force themselves to do it because they are following the primal diet instead of their intuition. The primal diet, as far as man-made ideas go, was the best kind of diet that anybody thought of because it was still based on raw animal foods, even if a large part was raw dairy. But when it comes to what you're naturally supposed to eat, then no.
So, Goatis is a man-made idea of you should only eat what you instinctively want to eat, as long as it's natural. And that man-made idea, it's fine. But if Aajonus says, here is a diet which is made exclusively out of foods which are natural, and which 99% of the time you will naturally instinctively want to eat. Here is a diet of natural foods which you instinctively want to eat. Then that's wrong. That's a man-made idea. But if you say the same thing, but to not call it a diet, then it's suddenly something completely else. He's such a fucking retard. He's like, he has some ego or something. Like, I want to say the same thing as Aajonus, but something different than Aajonus. I will say the same thing as Aajonus, but act like what I'm doing is completely different than what Aajonus is doing.
Naturally supposed to eat, then no man-made diet can obviously compare to that, because only you know what is good for you, and nobody else will ever be able to think of a diet which is better than what your natural senses tell
Only you know
you're
what is good
supposed to
for
eat.
you.
Thanks for watching.
I think, I don't know, but I know that smoking is good for me. Drinking kratom is good for me, because then I feel good. Okay, so I'm on the primal diet, and my natural senses tell me that every time I eat what is on the primal diet, I literally feel the best. And at the same time, my senses tell me that I should eat the foods on the primal diet because they make me feel the best. And at the same time, these foods are natural at the same time. So, but I shouldn't do that because that's a diet. Instead, I should eat what I naturally want to eat, which is the foods on the primal diet. As long as they're natural. Okay, so if you are tired of this nut job, and people who have been watching him on TikTok, and because of him started to eat raw meat and now eat raw meat for like a year and a half, if you want, like, I've been eating raw meat for fucking last 5 years. I've been 16, and now I'm 21. I've been eating raw meat for 5 years from puberty till now, and I've listened to hundreds of hours of Aajonus Wonderplan's workshop, and I've also listened to 50 hours of Darko Velchik yapping. I've listened to 50 hours of Jack Cruz yapping. I've tried absolutely fucking everything. I know what fucking works. I'm in contact with a lot of fucking people, and I know what works when I tell them to try something. It works or it doesn't, whatever. I know my fucking stuff. If you are on the diet or trying to eat raw meat or trying to learn, or you found the things I say sound wise, and you came under the impression that I'm pretty wise and informed about my stuff, and you want to get ahead or something, you might consider either subscribing and checking more of my content, which honestly, most of my content is completely shit. Don't watch it. I didn't make... My new videos are going to be better, but everything I've uploaded up to this point, it's worthy of deletion. But give me a subscribe and wait for whatever I come up with next. Or check out the first link in the description and see if it interests you. Like, if you want to save some fucking time. If you want to save some fucking time, trust me, check out the first link in the description. You will not regret it. Eat raw meat, get tan, and grow your hair out.
Parents, I say, well, what do you want from your child? Do you want an athlete? Do you want a brain? Do you want to mix of the two? What do you want? And if they want a champion athlete, then I'll have them mix liver or heart with other meat instead of milk. If you want brains and body functions, you give them both the milk and the liver together. If you want an athlete superior in all kinds of ways, then you want mainly the liver with other meats.